Let's find out the difference between American police and British police.
We might think about the police, one thing that's certain is that we are fascinated by them. As early as the 50s, the police crime
I can tell you straight away, ours do not go around carrying guns.
drama started filling our TV screens, and long before that, Arthur Conan Doyle and Edgar Allan Poe planted the seeds for the genre of detective fiction. The good cop, the bad cop, or even the rebel with a cause cop kind of shows in the 70s have evolved into more realistic series such as The Wire, which give us a more nuanced version of police work and those that do it. In real life, dashcam footage from police vehicles has also become a staple in the online content we consume. Today we are going to concentrate on real-life cops, and perhaps the two most famous, sometimes infamous police forces in the world, in this episode of the infographic show, American Cops versus British Cops. Don't forget to subscribe.
I'm not sure, if we go back to this image, I'm not sure you often see English police with a smile like that on their face. That is rare, I think.
Cops. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so that you can be part of our notification squad. Prior to what we consider an actual police force, the ancients had many ways to police the polis, or city. Slaves in ancient Greece would handle the rowdy crowds when tempers flared, while the Romans might set their Praetorian Guard on out-of-control rioters. Through the ages, there have been myriad ways to maintain public order, and also some pretty gruesome punishments for those that breach the accepted rules. In the UK, it wasn't until 1749 when a judge named Henry Fielding created what was called the Bow Street Runners, the first time Britain had anything what we can associate with today.
Isn't it interesting that in the UK, our justice system is still full of people wearing the wigs? Like, surely we've moved on from that, but apparently not.
Police force. As British cities grew at a rapid pace under the Industrial Revolution, so did crime. And so on September 29, 1829, the Metropolitan Police Service was formed in London, and it is said to be the first modern police force ever created. The man behind it, Sir Robert Peel, explained why England needed cops. I want to teach people that liberty does not consist in having your house robbed by organized gangs of thieves and in leaving the principal streets of London in the nightly possession of drunken women and vagabonds. Why were they nicknamed Bobbies? Well, after their founder, Robert. As you know, the USA was noted for its Wild West outlaws. One of those was Billy the Kid, who was shot by Sheriff Pat Garrett in 1881. Like Britain, America had ways to control crime, but for a long time there was no formal police force, and so the job of keeping folks in line often went to private contractors such as the Pinkerton National Detective Agency. Systems including night watchmen, and even what some called goons for hire, weren't workable as the USA grew in population. It's thought that the first American formal police force was created in Boston in 1838, New York City followed in 1845, and by the 1880s, just about all American cities had an organized police force. Now that we know something about the history of these two countries' police forces, let's look at the present day. The number of police officers in just England and Wales has decreased significantly in the last decade, which has become a...
Are we really going to be getting political in this? Because yes, in the UK we have lost a lot of police officers in the last 10 years, and I'm going to blame the Tories, but we won't get into that.
Major political issue in the UK. The number in 2016 of officers in the force was 124,066, down from 143,769 7 years before that. The number of full-time officers working in Scotland in 2016 was 17,242, and the number in Northern Ireland was 6,773. That's a total of 148,081 police officers working all over the United Kingdom. The population of the UK is 65.64 million, so roughly there is one police officer for every 448 people. Much of the British media and the public are saying that is not enough, especially as the crime rate rise in the UK is rising faster than it has in a decade. This includes a rise in violent crimes and homicide. Over the pond in the USA, crime rates are much higher, and as some police departments are looking more like military units, the role of police in society has met with some controversy. Finding the actual number of sworn police officers working in the USA in 2016 isn't that easy. This is because figures given by the US Bureau of Justice Statistics haven't been updated in a few years.
Surely as a country you should know how many police officers you have. Like, how is that even difficult to know? You know, surely Surely you should know how many police officers you've got.
Total number of police agencies in the US is around 18,000, but that includes all branches of police. If we take just local police departments, that number is more like 15,500, according to PolitiFact. The old data that is often cited says that in 2008, there were 765,000 officers that had the power to make an arrest. The US Department of Justice gives the number of 750,340 for 2012. According to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund, that number has shot up and is presently about 900,000. The US population is 323.1 million, so that means that roughly there is one cop for every 359 people. One of the major differences is that in the USA, police carry guns, as do 36% of American households, according to the Washington Post. It's reported that in 2016, 135 police officers died in the line of duty, with around half of those that died being fatally shot. The Guardian reports that the number of officers killed in the line of duty in the UK is a total of 11 since 2010, although many officers are assaulted in the UK.
The problem is, and I probably shouldn't get into this, but I think most people over here know how stupid it is to just let people have guns. Police have guns, people have guns, guns kill people kill people with guns. You know, if a child is hitting another child with a stick, you don't give the other child a stick to hit them back. You take the stick off them. That's the easiest analogy to use. You don't need guns. It's ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
2015, it was reported that 23,000 assaults occurred against officers in just England and Wales. In 2017, the Police Federation of England and Wales reported this figure to be not even close to the real number. It said
the problem with assaults is that you don't need anything to assault someone. You just need your fists. So how do you stop that? I don't think this figure is a fair one to use against the figure of gun crime and gun deaths, because a gun, you physically got something that you have gone and purchased or acquired and you are using against someone. With assaulting someone, you don't need to physically go and buy something, so it's not something you can just take away and stop. So I don't think it's really a good it's not really a good figure as a comparison to gun crime.
Said there were 2.4 million assaults in 2016, meaning an officer was attacked every 13 seconds that year. 300,000 of them involved attacks with deadly weapons. The report said the average police officer is assaulted 19 times a year. On the other hand, in the USA in 2016, police officers killed a total of 1,093 people. According to Inquest.org, in the UK in 2016, a total of 5 people were shot and killed by police. The total number of people shot and killed in the UK since 1990 is 67. We should add here that regular cops in the UK don't carry guns, but armed police can be called when it's thought guns are needed. Police in Northern Ireland are different, routinely carrying firearms. According to the newspaper The Mirror, in 2016 there were 1,863,524 legally owned guns in Wales and England, most of which were shotguns. It's thought there are another 277,000 guns in Scotland and a further 150,000 legally owned guns in Northern Ireland. The same newspaper said there were another 2 million illegally owned guns on the UK streets, which has raised the question if the UK police should be given firearms. The murder rate per capita in the US is still 30 times higher than in the UK, which might not be surprising considering there are more guns than people in the country.
Just take the guns away! Take the bloody guns away! They can't shoot people!
51,548 assaults against US police officers in 2015, with a total of 14,004.
This may have started as a light-hearted video. But how many shootings at schools do you need before you realise, take the bloody guns away? Don't have someone in the school with a gun to try and stop them. Oh, Jesus.
453 injuries sustained. With this in mind, how does life on the job compare between the two forces, and how do you even get a job as a police officer? In the UK, you can join when you are 18. There are no restrictions on height, but the force does ask you to be in good enough physical and mental shape to undertake police duties. No formal qualifications are required, but you will need to pass some tests to get in. Pass them, and you are in, just as long as you haven't committed any serious offenses in the past. It's similar in the US, although the police force does usually ask for a high school diploma, and that you are either 18 or 21 depending on the department. You'll have to train at a police academy and have either a clean criminal record or have only committed minor offenses.
I hope my friend doesn't mind me saying this. We'll see if he watches the video, and if he does watch the video, I'm sure he'll tell me. The way my friend got in is he started off as a special, so there wasn't actually any paid roles going available. So he started as a special, and a special is basically a voluntary, unpaid unpaid role, so you don't have the same powers as the police. It's similar to a community support officer now, and by doing that, he got his foot in the door, and therefore he got the job up in the Met.
There is no minimum or maximum height or weight limit, but in the academy you'll have to pass certain physical agility tests. Nowhere does it state you have to enjoy eating donuts. Wages vary, but in England, Wales, and Northern Ireland you can expect to start your career as a police constable on anything from $25,000 US to $30,000. If you work hard, UK career websites say that within about 7 years that wage can be $48,872 US. You should work a 40-hour week, although police work can often mean overtime and also emergency callouts.
Once again, I hope my friend doesn't mind me saying, but the way his shifts work is he's quite often 2 mornings, 2 days, and then 2 evenings, night times, and then he has like 4 days off. So you've almost got to get into that. You've got to have his sleep pattern's dreadful. His sleep pattern's dreadful. So you've got to. It's not necessarily easy in that sense to have a schedule.
You'll get 23 days annual leave and also full sick pay. The pension varies depending on time worked, but the average police pension in the UK is thought to be around $20,465 a year, and the normal retirement age is 60. In the US, salaries differ from state to state, but a rookie cop working in the NYPD can expect to earn $46,288 per year. After 5.5 years, this could rise to $90,829 if you have done well. Other states have average wages closer to $30,000 and others $70,000 according to career website Cron. You'll get 10 days paid vacation to start with, but after 5 years it will increase to 27 days. You'll also receive unlimited fully paid sick days, medical benefits, dental benefits, and optional retirement after 22 years on the force. Like the UK, you will work around 40 hours a week in shifts, but that might change with overtime. How much pension you receive can be affected by multiple factors, but various websites put the average police pension anywhere from $58,000 to $62,000. With money in mind, we'll...
A very generalistic video this. I'm almost a little bit disappointed. But actually, most of the times I seem to watch these infographic ones, I get a bit disappointed. It doesn't go into the nitty gritty, the emotional difficulties. And I think currently at this time, with what happened with the police in America, the George Floyd, and currently at the moment with the police officer that allegedly murdered a girl, and then the police turning up at the vigil. It's a tough time. It's one of those ones where police are just doing their job, and when one police officer does something bad, it then seems to paint the light that all police officers are bad, and they're not. They're normal people like you and I. It's a tough job. It's a really tough job. I don't think I could do it. There's a lot of emotional distress as well, physical hardship. So I think you've got to respect police either side of the pond. Yeah. Sorry about my political opinions getting involved a little bit, but there we go. Hope you enjoyed, guys. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.